Budget tablets that usually cost around about £170 or so are normally riddled with compromises, things like plastic builds, underwhelming displays, and tiny batteries. But this Honor Pad X8b is just that little bit different. You get a 7mm thick body. On top of that, it weighs less than 500 grams, and you also somehow get a 10,100 milliamp hour battery inside this tablet. The price means you're not losing out on a lot. But the question is this X8b actually any good? Let's find out. The display, let's start there. 11 inches, 90 Hz, 500 nits of peak brightness, and it's an LCD TFT panel. So it's not the most premium looking display out there, but if you're watching content on here, things like browsing the internet or just watching your normal YouTube videos, etc., it's going to look absolutely fine. In fact, the word I'd use is very serviceable, which of course is fine at this price point. Then the sound output, again, I would describe it as good, not very bassy or not very crystal clear or immersive in any way, but still serviceable and pretty good. The design profile is aluminium built, but it's a bit of a mixture here because you get the aluminium built along the back of it as well, but you also get a mixture of plastic here as well. And in hand, it feels pretty good here. No issues at all in any way, shape or form. The front facing camera on here is actually 5 megapixels, so low resolution, but it's kind of okay for capturing your videos. Take a look. This is the output of the 5 megapixel front facing sensor on the Honor Pad X8b. Looks decent. There's no peace. The biggest selling point of the X8b is of course what lives under this back panel here, and that's the 10,100 milliamp hour battery, and it's an absolute beast. In fact, we don't normally do this, but we ran this through 3D Mark's Lifestyle Extreme test to see what that would look like in terms of battery consumption. And what you found here is there's actually no battery consumption even after 20 full cycles of usage, and there's little to no throttling as well, which is absolutely mental. If we actually jump into the battery menu, if you have around about 80 or so percent, you're going to get 50 plus hours of usage time, which for most people is 7 to 8 hours per day for at least 2 to 3 days, depending on what you're doing. And continuous playback here is around 24 hours of usage. So you're legitimately going to get a multi-day tablet. No matter what you do, if you hammer this all day, it's going to last you 2 days as a bare minimum. But in our personal day-to-day use testing, we used a number of different situations. So we watched things like YouTube and Google Movies, or Google TV that we already had stored. We gamed on this, casual games like Mario Run. Subway Surfer is another one. As well as streaming Spotify, and we barely used 5% battery, and this was over a course of a number of hours, so it's an absolute beast. But you're probably thinking a £170 tablet can't play any serious games. Well, actually, no. And surprisingly, this worked really, really well on Call of Duty Mobile because it ran on low resolution and reasonably high graphics at 60 frames per second. We actually even connected an Xbox controller to this, and it ran perfectly.
Targets in sight.
You can, of course, add in additional peripherals. So if you wanted to kind of make this a pseudo budget laptop replacement, you've got the tablet itself, you could add in things like a keyboard and a mouse as well. And because of the Bluetooth connectivity, it will actually create a really budget tablet laptop experience. There are downsides, of course, to a budget tablet like this, and especially when it's linked to the 10,100 milliamp hour battery, and that is in particular charging. Now, there's no definitive rate that we've been given, but plugging this into a high wattage power bank, we're getting about 11 to 20 watts depending on where we were in our charging cycle. So this is a literal overnight job to charge this fully at the absolute premium, which I think for most people is gonna be fine. But if you're low on battery and you want a quick recharge, that's not gonna happen on the X8b. And continuing on the theme of downsides, we have to mention things like its raw performance. So it's powered by the Snapdragon 680, which is fine for your day-to-day budget basic tasks. And of course, we showed you some low-level casual games and some lower-level Call of Duty mobile games as well. But the design here and the CPU is primarily built around the idea of being efficient at the most basic things. Also to factor in, this is a Wi-Fi only tablet as well. But on the upside, this budget tablet does run Magic OS 10 out of box, and it runs really, really well. You're even going to get included within this up to 60 OS updates as well, based on Honor's promise last year in 2025. You don't get any real AI features, but again, not the point, especially with that CPU. Is going to struggle if you do a lot of AI tasks. In terms of the OS itself though, it runs really, really well. Using multiple windows at the same time is very fluid, very fast, very efficient. So although there are compromises in certain areas, the OS experience and other elements of the X8b are actually really impressive. So how to sum up the X8b? Well, it's pretty simple actually. If you want a good budget, basic experience of your tablet, then this is the way to go. You've got a really good tablet that can play really good casual games. It's great for watching content. If you wanted to do more than that, say photo or video editing, or you wanted a brighter, more vibrant screen or higher quality gaming experience, look at something like the Honor Pad 4, because that is like the top tier flagship tablet that we've ever tested. But we want you to let us know in the comment section below, what's your priority? Is it performance or is it battery? Let us know below, and thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, as always, we out.